You're listening to the audio production of Walk to Beautiful, The Power of Love and a Homeless Kid Who Found the Way by Jimmy Wayne with Ken Abraham, published by Thomas Nelson and read by Gabe Wicks, prologue and epilogue read by Jimmy Wayne.
Prologue. FTW. 27 years earlier. I sat sullen and shirtless toward the end of the day, alone in my room at the county home where Mama and her fourth or fifth husband had dumped me. My biological dad had left me when I was a toddler, and Mama had already abandoned me several times as well. I'd lost count by now how many men she had had in my 14 years. A year earlier, Mama had married off my then 14-year-old sister, Patricia, to an older, abusive man. So I guess I shouldn't have been surprised when Mama ordered me out of the car at midnight in a bus station parking lot back then. I was barely 13 years old. I stood there by myself hundreds of miles from home as I watched her pull away into the night with her lover. More recently, she and her husband had deceived a judge into designating me as a ward of the state. No doubt the judge thought the group home known as Faith Farm would be a safer, healthier environment for me than living in the chaos, drugs, alcohol, and other blatantly immoral behavior that constantly swirled around Mama's home. He was wrong. I hated my life. I hated living. I hated everything and everyone. I just wanted to die. Faith Farm was an old frame house with creaky wooden stairs, so I turned off my heavy metal music so I could hear anyone coming up the staircase. I knew that if a staff member caught me doing what I was about to do, I could get into serious trouble. None of the other foster kids were around. It was just me, the evening sunlight, a small jar of black ink, and a sewing needle I'd found. I wrapped some thread around the tip of the needle so it could soak up some ink, like the wick on our old kerosene heater. I dipped the needle into the murky, dark liquid and watched it saturate the thread. Carefully, I drew the needle out of the ink and then pushed the needle into my skin slightly above my left breast. Ouch, I screamed silently as the pain seared into my chest. It felt like a pinprick, but the burning sensation didn't disappear. Again and again I stuck the makeshift tattoo needle into my breast, the ink-soaked thread leaving an indelible mark as I pulled it through my skin. Slowly the letters began to take shape, first the F, then T. Blood dripped down my chest, staining the top of my pants. With every prick of the needle, I was reminding myself of what I felt. I knew what those letters meant. Most of the foster kids I met knew what the initials signified as well. Those who didn't would get it all too soon.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?